to Russell Wilson. They already signed Mason Rudolph, and they're prepared to move forward with Mason Rudolph as their QB1 if they need, but the Steelers will be adding other quarterbacks. They're waiting NFL draft in the form of Shedeur Sanders. So a lot of QB things out there. And the one thing I want to point out, it's March 20th.
Right.
Off-season programs don't start until next month. The draft is not until 5 weeks from today. So I know you want an answer, you want an answer, you want an answer. I want an answer from Aaron Rodgers. But there's really no time urgency to this whole situation, even though everybody's waiting for answers.
Is that, I understand that. Structurally, yes. Logically, yes. There's nothing that he is going to miss by not making a decision today or this week or anything like that. But does it feel, D. Wood, if you're like, we heard Cam Hayward from the Steelers the other day being like, man, if he wants to come be a Steeler, come be a Steeler. I'm not going to go begging anybody. And I think I'm paraphrasing, but it was something like that. Like I thought he was waiting out Minnesota. If the Minnesota thing has gone away, there's really nothing holding him back.
Nothing's changed with Minnesota. It's the same thing, same situation.
Right, you've been saying this for weeks, basically.
Just waiting on Minnesota, right. And he's still waiting on Minnesota until and if he signs with a team. Anyway, sorry.
Well, but that is my point, is if I'm the Steelers, here's where the urgency comes from. Like, if I'm with the Steelers, like, what is it Tomlin always says? Like, we want volunteers, not hostages, right? Like, what exactly are you waiting for? Like, what is it that is going to happen? You just pointed out it's March 20th. There's no urgency. I get that. There's also nothing that's going to change between now and the draft. So what is it that's going to make up your mind between now and then that is... Why would it be easier to make a decision in 3 weeks than it is right now?
Well, it's hard to speak for him. We don't know exactly what he's thinking.
I understand.
But I think that he feels like it's an important decision. He wants to take his time. He wants to marinate with the decision, process everything, take as much time as possible. Who knows if Minnesota does open up a month from now? You don't know. He's not in any rush. And there's only one Aaron Rodgers right now. It's not like these other teams can move off and say, okay, well, you know what? We're not going to wait because we have to go get this next guy. They feel like Aaron Rodgers is the guy they want. And then there's Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston and Joe Flacco and a bunch of other experienced, qualified, productive quarterbacks. But Rodgers right now, for better or worse, is the belle of the ball.
I will say this. Is there OTA going on right now?
No.
Is there a minicamp going on right now? So what's the deal? What's the point? Aaron Rodgers, you know.
No, but if you're a team, I'm saying, like, don't you want to know who the quarterback is going to be?
But they can't get an answer.
You know,
Greeny, we have been dealing with Aaron Rodgers for 2 years.
Yes.
Like, this dude, you know, like,
this is who he is.
This is who he is.
Like,
it's not going to change.
Because my logic is, like, there are two teams that want you.
Right.
New York Giants and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And between those two teams, the best situation for Aaron Rodgers and his career moving forward is the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I would think the decision would be easy.
But it's not.
But it's not.
Obviously.
Because with him, it tends not to be easy. I get that part of it. What I'm saying is, I can turn anything. I can take a line from a rom-com and apply it to almost anything in life. And there may be the greatest line in the history of movies when Billy Crystal, at the end of When Harry Met Sally, says, when you figure out who you want to spend the rest of your life with, you want the rest of your life to begin as soon as possible. And if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, if I'm going to spend this next portion of my life with Aaron Rodgers, I would like that to begin as soon as possible. I want to feel as though there's some enthusiasm.
Greeny, he's not that into you.
That's well played. That's good. That's well played. Okay, fair enough. So here's the other piece of this. All right, so you mentioned the Giants have the third pick in the draft.
Yep.
Mel Kiper the other day did his mock draft. He mocked them taking Shedeur Sanders. Field Yates did a little mini mock last week, did the same thing. Mocked them taking Shedeur Sanders. If they believe Shedeur Sanders is good, first of all, is Shedeur Sanders going to be there at 3? Do we expect that?
I believe he will be available at 3 for the Giants. And by the way, like, they don't know that right now because Cleveland holds 2 and Tennessee's at 1. But I think when you talk to people around the league, the sense is that Cleveland would like Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward is going to be the number 1 pick. Unless Cleveland trades up to 1, I don't think it's going to get Cam Ward.
Right.
And in which case, I think Cleveland goes either Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. And if they go for one of those guys, then that leaves Shedeur Sanders sitting there at number 3 for the New York Giants, if that's the direction they want to go. And by the way, the Giants and Shedeur Sanders have been linked up for quite some time. If we go back to December in the Alamo Bowl, wasn't Shedeur Sanders he had giant cleats with him, right? And is there any star player that's any more prepared for the bright lights in big city just like Eli Manning was back in the day. Shedeur Sanders also would have been trained for this city at this time. And so we'll see how this all plays out. We'll see if Aaron Rodgers decides what he wants to do. But it certainly feels like Shedeur Sanders is going to be there at 3 for the Giants to make a decision on, and that would make a lot of sense.
Okay, it might. If they love him, great. If they love him, take him, and that's the end of the conversation. Right. If, and I just feel like I'm trying to read the tea leaves. I host the draft, so I just listen to what all of the analysts say. I'm not a scout. I'm not an analyst. I don't have any inside knowledge on this part of it. But if they just feel like they need to take a quarterback, but the guy they really wanted was Ward, and they don't believe they can get him, there is another option. There are 2 great players in this draft, and one of the 2 of them is going to be available under your scenario, either Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. Quarterback from Louisville who has as much talent, I think, as anybody. He's got the size. He ran a 4.6 at the 40. He's almost 26 years old. There are a lot of things about him that will raise flags, but I think this guy has late first round written all over him.
I love that. My only concern, Greeny, is that I don't believe Tyler Shuck will.
They're a good sign for Pittsburgh fans who are hoping to see their team sign off on the future Hall of Famer, but Rodgers is still taking his time deciding on his future. In the meantime, Mike Tomlin says he isn't worried about the quarterback position.
That's why we brought him back. I'm comfortable with that, man. We've been there before. He's a very capable guy.
This is the funniest thing. I just have to let the audience know what just happened.
Strolled in.
Okay, first of all, you look phenomenal.
just see
Just
that?
get out here. Like, this is unbelievable. I have to tell everyone. Okay, so obviously we're switching out guests. Lewis is there coming in, hustling over from Get Up. So they're pushing Lewis in the chair all the way into a full, complete car crash. The airbags would have went off. I apologize.
It's
If you want to talk to HR, are you okay?
A lesser athlete like Stephen A. would have fell into this table and busted his grill all out.
Really? Why would
You
you
know
have to
what
go
I'm
there?
saying?
Why we got to go there?
You know you're my guy.
I mean, you ain't got to go there. You know what I'm saying? You know, and
Core
I noticed-
strength,
I
held
noticed
it
how-
together.
I noticed how your
Right.
blue suit, she said something about that, but she didn't say nothing about mine. I don't need that.
But you know what?
I mean,
I
no,
was-
Stephen
I
A.
was-
It's
I was-
honestly, it's how he put it. It's how he put it together with the watch and everything.
I actually was going.
I complimented you the other
compliment
day.
you too.
Thank you very much.
That's a nice look.
Very much.
Yeah, I don't know about
It's a nice look.
the shirt choice, but yesterday you did good, pattern on pattern.
You don't know
stepped
about
out.
the shirt?
You got to get Stephen A.
with
with his
that.
presidential fold.
What you trying to
You
say,
see the
Shaq?
presidential fold, Stephen A.? You see the presidential fold? You see the presidential fold?
No,
You see
I gotta-
Lewis' presidential fold?
See, I got to bring a new flavor to the presidency. You can't be that kind of
gosh.
pocket square. It's got to be something.
No.
different.
We gonna vote you out of office.
It ain't working right now.
Okay,
just a little different.
just accept the
Yeah,
the
just take it.
compliments.
Yeah,
It's nice.
just let it go.
It's a good look.
Yeah,
It's a good.
let's just
Hey, yo, hey, fellas,
Yeah.
ladies.
Oh, here we go.
I approve that
this
message.
message. Yeah. Okay, Lewis, would
knew it was
Pittsburgh
coming,
make
huh?
noise next season with Aaron Rodgers under center?
Yeah, I think they would, Molly, provided a couple other things fall into place. Like, number one, this offensive line has got to ascend into a top 10 type of offensive line instead of like a mid-level 15, 16, 17, 17th ranked offensive line when you're talking about run block and pass block win rate. Look, Aaron needs to be protected at this point in his career. Sure. But I do believe that he would level up this offense because for a number of different reasons. Number one, because of the fact that he has seen it all and done it all at the NFL level, especially when you're talking about situational football. I still do believe in the back quarter of the season last